Actually, we might need to pull it back a little bit. It seems like it's not. What do you think?
Give us just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're making a quick adjustment.
Do we need? Yeah, let's pull it back just a hair. You got it? All right. Pull the camera back, like, I'll tell you when, just. And then if you could aim it down just a hair. I know it's tough with that tripod. One more, a little bit more. Perfect. That's exactly it. Shows us all the shit that we have out here. Perfect.
You like that?
That's good. That's good. I like to show all this shit on the table.
Well, we didn't put it there for our health.
Exactly.
Or did we?
Oh. Welcome to the Barrel Buddies. I'm Jimmy.
And I'm BJ. We're finally back.
We're back.
Thank you, loyal viewer.
You're back. I was here
That's
last week on the solo
I'm
show.
finally back. Jimmy's been holding it down.
I've been holding it down.
Thank you, loyal viewer. We appreciate you.
So our thought was, we're like, hey, let's get started a little early so we can let them trickle in, right?
And by starting early, we really meant
on time. We started like 20 minutes ago prepping.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, yeah, give us like a minute.
That's what happens when we're all over the place and traveling. I've been to Indianapolis. I've been to Orlando. I'm getting ready to go to Japan.
Yeah.
Boy, I can't wait. I got to tell you, I got tickets. You know that we're going to a whiskey distillery to do some content.
Nika.
Going to Nika, and I'm taking a Barrel Buddy OG.
Oh.
Taking Zachy.
Oh,
taking
Mr.
Zachy
Zach.
with me. We're going to travel all the way across the Pacific Ocean.
That'll be great. Well, hopefully we'll see some content from you guys while you're out there.
We will be hosting some content. I'm actually very excited to bring that to our loyal viewer. So thank you, loyal viewer.
Yeah, before we get into it, we're gonna give it a couple of minutes here because we're early.
We are a couple of minutes early.
Yeah. So if you're here just to rewatch this and get to the blind tasting and skip ahead, give it like once you see us like sip a glass, then you're good. If not, you're going to have to deal with our banter for the next couple of minutes here
It's cool. We're going to banter it out a little bit. And then we'll give you a quick heads up on what it is we're doing. But we're just going to give a quick rundown of we're going to set the scene in Las Vegas. And I think the first scene we need to set is the table that we have set in front of us. And we have to do a barrel check-in.
Barrel check-in.
It's a barrel check-in. Barrel 2025.
So we tasted it. And what are your opinions? We had it like 30 minutes ago.
Okay, we did just do a quick check-in of the barrel here. And the barrel Lamaze
is happening.
It's working. It's starting to go in and out. This is a really interesting. So the first thing I said, I'm just going to give my quick rundown.
Before you get into that, though, let's tell them what was in it, because we might have some viewers that don't know what we put in it.
Welcome, new viewer.
Yeah, so new viewers. So this big boy right here, this Magnum of Garage East out of Tampa's finest, this was their CYPM mead. So this was 3 liters of strawberry, blackcurrant, and raspberry mead. This is batch 1 CYPM out of this big boy.
And congratulations once again for winning that. Well done.
Yeah, and that went in here, but they're like, oh, well, that totally didn't fill it up. Well, I had some little guys that we filled it up, and it ended up being 5 liters of delicious mead.
And same, just to set the seed, of the same CYPM.
Right. That we let age for, was it a month or 2 months that we left it in the barrel?
3 months.
3 months. It was 3 months.
Yeah, which effectively came out to what, like half a year? It was like when you do the
year.
Oh, year.
It was a year of mead aging,
because it's the compression, and the size, and the volume. There's a whole formula.
So that was a brand new oak barrel from Redheaded Barrels. So shout out to those guys over there
in Oklahoma.
This was a freshly charred, I think it was a level 3 barrel,
which
is kind of run of the mill standard char. We put the mead in there, let it go for a few months, and then we dumped the mead. And then we ended up filling it with 7 bottles of various Frey Ranch single barrel store picks.
Yeah.
All at 120 proof and above, like all in the upper 60s.
And if you know anything about the Frey Ranch single barrel store picks, you will know they all are very hot.
Very hot.
And very funky because
some can be funky. Yeah. So, well, and some of them, specifically those store picks, were meant to be funky. So 100%. We put 2 funky bottles in there out of the
very
7
funky bottles.
And then there were a couple that were like just really hot. There were some that were really amazing.
Really green apple.
Very, very green apple forward. And I thought that would be a really good contrast with the mead elements.
The fruit, right? The fruit forwardness, 100%. Yeah. You take the fruity green apple and you pair it with that lovely berry and currant.
So what do you think?
Okay, so I'm just going to give you my quick rundown.
Yeah.
I said the first thing, it smells like California. And all that means to me is it smells like the orchards. It smells like the vineyards of California. So when you go to Napa Valley and you step outside, you take a big breath.
Yeah.
It smells like Napa. You can smell the earth. There's a great earthy tone. It's very fresh. And I think that's the oak of the barrel. I think that is the fruitiness of the mead. It's very fresh. I loved it. You take the first sip, hot. Oh my God. This is a hot,
it's a hot boy.
Mother. Okay. It's so hot that it is almost like Scoville level on your tongue. All right. That's like hot sauce measurement levels.
Yeah.
It's hot. But then it gives way to this lovely honey flavor, like fresh clover, wildflower honey. And then it gives way to the black currant. I really got the flavors of black currant, really coats the mouth, big full bodies. And then the craziest thing happens. And that is, as soon as the currant melts away, candied peaches. Just overwhelming flavors of ripe stone fruit. This is going to be something crazy special.
Yeah.
It's just going to continue to develop. It's developed so much in the couple of months it's already been in there. I cannot wait to see what happens to this thing in November.
Cannot wait. As you said, so this went into the barrel, for those that don't know, on May 1st. So this has been going since then. And we're just, we're going to keep doing check-ins every few months to see how it develops. And the goal is, I would like to, have it at least go through towards the end of the year, Thanksgiving, Christmas time. We will bottle it, and then figure out how we're going to distribute those bottles. So I want to do a few giveaways on the show. We have a ton of people that are very lined up. Like I've been reevaluating the bottle sizes. Like I might go 200 ml bottles just to accommodate.
Size down so we can distribute more.
Yeah, I was thinking about 350s, so like halfsies or 375s.
Yeah, I think we got to size down.
And there's been way too much demand from probably everybody hitting us up.
Hip flasks, like Ass Pocket Whiskey does.
Yeah, and I don't want to get started on those guys because they really jumped the shark and egregiously priced out everybody with their latest offering.
I haven't seen it, so we might have to talk.
Well, we can talk about that at the end of the show, but those guys, like, come on, like they really like.
This is what happens. You hook them in.
Yeah.
And then nail them down.
Yeah, that's what they've done.
So all right. So let's jump in.
But anyway, so what do we got tonight?
We've talked a lot. So listen, you did a great show last week.
Eagle Rare.
You talked about Eagle Rare.
The 12-year release.
Bringing that 12-year distillery only, as you talked
about. For now, yeah.
But we want to talk about the good old-fashioned Eagle Rare, which we've done on the show a couple times. But we got to give it some due. But we couldn't just bring back regular old Eagle Rare. We had to pair it up with some other things that we've done on this show. So we're going to go head to head, blind. We're going to try them. Then we're going to reveal and then talk about it. We're not going to taste the same things. We've mixed it up. We have no idea exactly what's in front of us. But what we do know is we've got the Eagle Rare. We've got Barton's Sweet Wheat.
1792.
All right. And then we've got Four Roses. All Kentucky products. James, I know you've got all the details on these. We should probably run down through them as we taste.
Yeah.
But we're all about 45% with the exception of the Four Roses, which I think is coming in at 40%. So this is going to be real interesting. I think it's going to be pretty easy to tell which one is the Four Roses. I can just tell you from a color perspective, I know which one that is.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to start there.
I don't want us to lift. I want to show the little tasters that we have, but I don't want to reveal.
So I will just, I'm going to reveal. So we've got them in little plastic tasters, right?
We each of us have 3 of these.
And on the bottom, we have some gaffer's tape. We can't see through the gaffer's tape.
Yep.
We have numbered them. And on the back of every bottle is a corresponding number. So when we're done, we will be able to show which one was which. We will be able to know exactly which one was which. But we're going to go in blind. We're going to rank them. We're going to talk about which ones taste like what. And then really what this comes from is you sure have seen the social media content that's like, can't find Eagle Rare.
Try this
Try
instead.
Four Roses instead. I'm so tired of that garbage content. You come to us because we're here to tell you the real deal.
We're going to taste it live. And these are some of the recommendations that we're just to say to put up against Eagle Rare.
And I don't believe them. I disagree with this.
I completely agree with you. I don't know that anything is going to compare to Eagle Rare. I feel, in my personal opinion, I liked Sweet Wheat. I don't really remember it. However, I will I already say I think I'm going to rank them Sweet Wheat, Eagle Rare, and then the Four Roses a distant third is my thought.
I agree, and I'm going to give you the two recommendations at the end that I think will be more in line with what I think. Can't find Eagle Rare. Here's what you find. But I will just tell you, I don't think that the two recommendations I have are going to be any easier to find. In fact, I think Eagle Rare will be easier to find than my two recommendations.
I would agree.
Yep. So let's get into it.
Yeah, and that's so we're going to do a quick. So back to the bottles. So the first one that we talked about last week on the show was Eagle Rare. So for those that need a quick refresher, that's the 10-year 90 proofer from Buffalo Trace. This is their wheated bourbon. Known for its smooth, balanced profile. It should have toffee, vanilla, oak, and mild spice. That's pretty much Eagle Rare in a nutshell. Then we have 1792, which is another wheater, and that's 91.2 proof. It's aged around 8 years, and that's from Barton. It's going to be softer and sweeter, supposedly, than Eagle Rare with caramel, vanilla, and subtle spice. So then we have Four Roses, which is a 90 proofer. And that's a blend of rye heavy mash bills aged 6 to 8 years. Smooth caramel, vanilla, fruit, and spice. It's less weedy, but it matches Eagle Rare's balance. And that was a highly recommended one to compare it to.
Okay, yeah.
Eagle Rare. So we have not tried any of these. Like the only one I remember is Eagle Rare from last week a little bit. So putting these all together and blinding them, I'm all about it.
I'm excited because I don't know the last time I've had Eagle Rare. I think I told you when we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
I have a knack for looking at a menu and being like, that's what I want. And every time I see Eagle Rare on a menu when I'm out and about, I'm like, Eagle Rare. And it's generally pretty well priced. I would say handsomely priced.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'll take a pour of the Eagle Rare. The bartenders are always like, oh, yeah, that's great. Great pick. And it never fails. They come back and go, oh, we're all out of the Eagle Rare. And I'm like, well, of course you are. Okay, cool. Well, it shows you have E.H. Taylor on the menu, so I'll take a pour of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to go check. And I'm like, yeah, you do that. And it never fails. They're always out of that. And then I end up being like, well, I don't even know why I look at the menu anymore.
And you brought up two bottles there. So the E.H. Taylor small batch was another one that they said that you can use to compare this to, as well as Blanton's.
Similar mash bills coming from the same producer.
It's like beating a dead horse. Like we've gone through those so many times. I didn't want to bring them out. I'd rather have just some more unique offerings.
We love them.
That's kind of outside of the box. But yeah.
I almost forced you to choose a benchmark only because we just got benchmark here in Nevada.
Yeah, we did.
Losing their minds about it.
They are,
which I think is hilarious. We did benchmark on this show 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Drove to Cali, got it. Talked about all four of their offerings.
Way more than that. There's more than four. I think there's like 6.
Is there 6 now? We did 4 on this show.
Yeah, we haven't. They're all there.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The top floor, the single barrel, the regular, and the full proof.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Well, I'm getting into my first one here, and I will just tell you.
Yep.
No nose on this one.
Ooh, peanut. Little peanut. This is not Eagle Rare.
I know you picked the same one as me. It is not Eagle Rare.
I know that much, which is fine.
And I will tell you, yes, peanut is something I get on the flavor profile.
Cheers to the blind taste here.
But I get no nose.
I get a little nuttiness, a little subtle citrus, like maybe orange peel.
I will just say the initial. So three taste rule, right? 3 tastes.
3 sip. 3
sip rule. When you taste any barrel aged product, really anything, it's a good rule. 3 sips, 3 tastes. The initial shock to your palate, sip number 1. You get a bloom. It really starts to coat your entire palate. You really start to taste the flavor profile. You're over the initial shock in that sip number 2. And by sip number 3, you should really start to be able to pick out the unique character of what it is you are drinking. You should really be comfortable now with starting to dissect what it is you're drinking. And I think you can make a pretty fair assessment as to whether or not you like what you're drinking or dislike what you're drinking, because now you're very well acquainted. Your palate is starting to really enjoy it or dislike it. But it's you're used to it, right? My initial shock to the palate on this one, as you probably saw my face, I was not enjoying it, but it does give way, I think, to a much more pleasant flavor profile. That's when I said, some roasty peanut, and then a little sweetness. But I get a lot of like bitter, acrid.
I get the bitter, acrid oak. It's like
oak.
a very sharp oakiness in the back end,
in an unpleasant way,
which I attribute to a young whiskey. Which makes me automatically assume that this is the Four Roses.
Well, and the color, right? We didn't even talk about color.
Yeah, it's pretty light.
I mean, I'm just going to call it the way I see it. It's piss yellow. Yeah. A nice way to call that would be.
That's a great way. You official bourbon judge. You're like, this has notes of urine. And...
Notes of slightly dehydrated urine. No, it's golden straw. No, I agree. I think this is young juice. What'd you say the age of the Four Roses?
6 to 8 years.
Yeah, and I think it's closer to 6. I mean, you put some drops of 8 in it, but I think it's closer to 6.
Yep.
Not loving it. Which part of Kentucky is this coming out of?
So the Four Roses is coming out of. So first of all, I want to go into where it was, like a little bit of the history, right? So this was introduced in 2006. And it's a blend of 2 of the 10 recipes. So if you know the recipes, this one is, hold on a second. Give me 2 seconds. A blend of OBSV and OBSK. And this is from Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, from the Four Roses Distillery. And this was introduced in 2006.
Okay.
So, and it's coming in at, what is this, 90? I think it's a 90. Let me double check.
Yeah, no, I think this is 80. I think this is 40%.
And there's Zach. 90 proof.
40% alcohol. This is 80 proof.
Oh, why does it say 90 on my notes? Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, 80 proof.
Okay. All right.
Although I would tell you, I don't think it tasted like 80 proof. I think it was definitely a little more sharp on the palate. I think I tasted a lot of the alcohol, but I think, again, that just lends itself to a young flavor profile.
So how do we want to do this now moving forward? So
that's a great question. I'm not going to look.
I don't want to look yet either. I'd like to keep going and then look.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this one farthest away from me as the first one I did.
By the Four Roses bottle, because I think that is,
So I'm going to just set that one farthest away from me so I know it's the first one.
Okay.
And then I will rank them and then we will look.
Okay.
So I'm going to jump into my next one here. I'm going to pull this one that's closest to me.
I'm going to pull this guy. I'm going to get a little bit of water here.
I should probably grab a water. Just a moment, please.
So going a little bit more like into the mash bills, right? So what we're looking at, so the Eagle Rare, as we talked about last week's show, that was Buffalo Trace's mash bill number 1. So that's a low rye. Excuse me, it is not that. It is 75 to 80% rye, 10 to 15%. I am way off. I am totally like off here.
Do you know how to read?
Scratch that, reverse that. Let's do it again.
A lot of rye for a wheat show.
It's 10 to 15% malted barley, 75 to 80% corn, and 10% rye, low rye. So that's what we're looking at. And then on the 1792, that is a high corn. So it's a 70 to 75% corn, 15 to 20% wheat, 5 to 10% malted barley. So I think you're going to see a lot of comparisons with the Eagle Rare and the 1792. They might be difficult to discern.
I'm excited about this.
And Four Roses is kind of a crapshoot because it's a blend of 2 of their 10 mash bills, which is 60% corn, 35% rye, 5% malted barley, high rye. And then OBSK is 60% corn, 35% rye, 5% malted barley, high rye, different yeast.
I'm just going to poo-poo this.
Yeah.
I never like regular Four Roses.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Every time I come to it, every time I have a pour of it, anytime, not even in cocktails, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Four Roses.
No,
I know you're going to watch the show. I just don't like your juice. I'm sorry. You can't like everyone. You just can't. And this is where I'm going to draw the line. Just like I don't like Knob Creek, I just don't like your juice. Sorry. All right, I'm going to get into this one. You ready? Cheers.
Let's do it. Cheers. Let's get into this one.
Number
This is
2.
Number 2. Ooh, that's very sweet on this one that I picked. What I don't know about you.
The one I picked has a much more prevalent nose. Like it actually has notes of like sweet corn. I like it.
Mine is very orange, like orange forward and vanilla.
I think we picked
like
the
a
same
cream.
one because now that I've breathed into it, this is a good trick, by the way. You can cover it and breathe into it, give it a minute, and then take the nose. And I actually do get kind of a hot citrus.
I think we're picking the same ones.
Well, that's pretty good. But it's nice. Oh, it's really nice.
I almost get, this is strange, but I get like a buttered popcorn almost and citrus.
Okay, I think we definitely picked the same one. This is very pleasant. No reaction. Oh,
I think this is the nice sweet wheat. Yeah.
Full body.
We're nailing these on the head. Yeah.
Oh,
I like this one.
It tastes like, so I do think this is a sweet wheat. And here's why, because now I remember this. And I think during the review that we did of this, I said the same thing. It tastes like a Jelly Belly buttered popcorn jelly bean.
That, and I also get, and I get that, and I get some like sugar cookie or snickerdoodle as well.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah,
it's so easy to sip on.
Yes, it is.
That's really nice. And it would make sense, right? You said what, like 70% corn whiskey?
Yeah, it's high corn and then 15 to 20% wheat and 5 to 10% malted barley. Really no rye at all. There's no rye at all. So there's no rye spice. I don't get any spice on this at all.
No spice.
So that makes me assume this is the sweet wheat.
I would agree wholeheartedly.
No barrel char, no spice, no pepper. No. None of the stuff that I despise.
This is, first of all, I don't know if you, the viewer at home, can see this, but we've almost drank none of this bottle. Mm-hmm. Like we've drank the neck out of this bottle. That's it. That's surprising to me. If this is truly what we're drinking, that's shocking to me. This bottle should be gone.
I'm surprised.
This bottle should be
we've
gone.
Just, here's the problem. We have so many bottles behind us and to the sides of us that we never get to all of them. We never get to what we really want to drink. Like I would say right behind me, this shelf here where my finger is, and then the medium shelf and the top shelf and the cabinets are usually what we hit when we start drinking.
Okay, my second sip brings in a lot more character. And all that means is I can taste the pointedness of the alcohol.
I would agree.
And I can taste some oak spice.
It does. Yeah, you get a little bit of oakiness there.
Not rye spice, right? But oak. I can
taste like a sweet oak. Barrel oak. Yeah.
But not in a bad way. It really is like a... It's nice. Oh, it's really nice. And it still gives way to a really nice, I'm going to call it a light to medium finish because it doesn't just dissipate.
I'm telling you, I hope we're right. Because if we're wrong and we look like the bed on this, we're going to look like big horses' asses. Yeah.
But I like this. I'm going for my third and final sip here.
These guys have zero credibility, by the way. We're going to lose it all tonight. Like we're completely off the wall.
Oh, wow. Okay, and my third sip.
Yeah.
Okay, big ethanol character. I can feel it come out of my nose. But again, I like it. Big, full body.
It's easy drinking.
Big, full body.
Yeah.
You know, it really lights up the whole palate. It's almost electric. You know what would be good in this?
What's that?
A pinch of salt.
Interesting.
I think a pinch of salt, a little salinity. I think it bring out some big caramel flavors.
Would you say that it's caramel, vanilla, honey, and mild cinnamon spice?
See, I don't get any cinnamon.
I don't either, which worries me because that's supposedly 1792.
The warming, right?
Could be mild cinnamon.
You feel the warming on the palate?
There is some warming.
That could be the mild cinnamon that they're talking about.
Actually, now that, of course, when you say it, and then you're like, oh, yeah, there it is. In typical
like a
tasting
roasted,
fashion.
Mild, warming feeling that actually could just be the cinnamon. I kind of
What's
get
those
it.
stupid
The power
candies?
of suggestion.
The round red candy. What is this stupid
Atomic
fireball?
Fireballs.
Very mild atomic fireball.
I'm with you. That's the warming.
It is. It has a little bit of a warminess to it, and I think I don't. So it's got to be the 1792. This one has to be. All right. So I think it's the 1792. I'm going to put it in the middle.
I'm with you because listen.
So it's going to go from left
to right. Just think about it for a second.
Right to left.
Think about it for a second.
Yes. And tell us in the chat what you guys are drinking, because you should be watching the show with a drink in your hand.
Thank you
for everyone that's in here. You need to get interactive.
Thanks for
and
coming
start
back.
asking us questions. Thanks for
Very
joining
quiet tonight.
Yeah, chime in the chat. Say hello. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you're drinking. Tell us what you're eating. Tell us what you're doing.
And if you're
Maybe not tell us what
watching,
doing,
if you're watching after the fact, if you're not watching, joining us live,
leave a comment.
Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment.
We love comments.
We'd also like to take this moment to solicit from you
Oh,
something very easy that doesn't cost you anything.
What are we
but
asking?
gives us everything.
Oh, what is that?
Would you please take a moment
to like?
That's
all you got
to do. That thumbs up. Just give us that thumbs
Subscribe if you're not.
Subscribe if you're not. We're losing subscribers.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. What is that about?
Sliding backwards. We hit that 15,000 mark. We're sliding back from that. We really
back
like
a little bit. Yeah.
And if you already have liked and subscribed, would you mind sharing our channel with a friend? Again, it doesn't cost anything. Just share. Tell somebody. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Love
you.
That's the
You
show.
mean a lot
That's
to
it.
us.
That's it. No more advertising. Yes.
Think about it. Do you know how much Buffalo Trace Saz juice we've drank?
Oh, gallons.
Does this taste like Buffalo Trace or Saz juice? It doesn't.
It does not.
It's not even close, right?
It is not.
So I think
it has to be the 1792.
That's where I'm like, I think it's the 1792.
Like, it's not even in that. I don't want to say realm. It's in the realm, but it's not a typical Buffalo Trace product. So this has to be the 1792.
And to your point, the mild cinnamon.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of like numbness on my tongue. A little Szechuan peppercorn, you might even say.
I would absolutely.
Right.
But very, very light. It's very, very mild. It's just there. I'm gonna try it again.
Barely there. And that could be the mild cinnamon. I could see it. I'm a little out of practice. It's been a few weeks.
It's good.
I like it.
All right,
let's get into number 3. I like number 2 a lot.
All right, I do too.
I like number 2 a lot. All right, let's get into number 3.
I need to really cleanse my palate. I feel like I'm really.
Yeah, I really had to give a good swish, a lot of water. That's another great tip. If you are tasting a couple of different bourbons, you really want to appreciate the bourbon character, as you should. These are just like things you would cook. A chef would cook in a kitchen.
It's a food product, friends.
100%.
It's a recipe, and it's
somebody
food.
crafted this for you. This is not just like out of a plastic bottle. These are crafted, time-honored recipes. Appreciate them.
Cheers, Chris. Welcome to the show. I don't think I've seen you before, so thanks for joining. Welcome to the Barrel Buddies. We're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time.
Sure are.
Giving little rantings from us. We've been doing this for a couple of years now. We're almost at show 200. So, this has got to be the Eagle Rare.
I'm with you. How did we both mix these up? We both
I don't know.
Mix these
guys,
up for each other.
Everybody's been watching this completely blind.
How did we choose the same ones?
There's gaffer's tape at the bottom of these with a number. You cannot see through the bottom. We don't know what the numbers are. We mixed them. Each of us left the room and mixed them for each other, so we did not know what we were drinking.
Oh, this is Eagle Rare.
But here's the thing. I'm going to say.
Guaranteed.
Here's what worries me. When I poured the Eagle Rare last week, I got the nose like a foot away. I'm not getting a super strong nose on this, which makes me now hesitate.
What were you drinking out of?
A Glencairn.
There you go.
Glencairn.
This is not made to take the nose, right? This is a
that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. Geez. All right, let's get into it. Cheers here.
Cheers.
Cheers to our plastic cups. Cheers, friends out there.
Cheers,
whatever you guys are drinking with us.
So this is interesting. I noticed the viscosity of this is very different.
It's got to be the Eagle Rare.
It's a little watery compared to the last one.
It's oaky. It has the age element. So my general assumption is whenever something's more oakier, it's got more age, it's got more weight to it, more oomph.
It's really
this has got to be the Eagle Rare. Uncle P, what's going on? Cheers. Are you drinking some Land Shark tonight? What's on the menu tonight?
It's Uncle Punky time. It's Uncle Punky time.
Wow. Hope you survived those storms last week. I hear we're getting hit. All in the tornado. What is it? The Tornado Alley in the Midwest.
Alley.
You guys were getting hit.
I was in Indianapolis when they had tornadoes touching down.
Yeah, I was talking to some family in Ohio, and they were like, "Oh yeah, they had tornado sirens going off last week, and it was pretty wild." So hopefully you guys are all safe and sound, and hopefully you all have basements to retreat to when the tornadoes do come roaring. Out here in Vegas, we don't get any of that. I don't think we've seen a tornado in years.
All right. This
is the Eagle Rare.
It's gotta be the Eagle Rare.
Well,
first of all, how did we, if this is true, how did we pick the same order after mixing it up?
Completely random.
Totally random.
Completely.
If this is true, that's random.
So yeah.
This has got to be Eagle Rare. For me, this has got to be Eagle Rare. This tastes like not Blanton's, but it's very similar.
So tasty notes from
true of Eagle Rare.
So we should be getting smooth, creamy caramel, vanilla, oak, baking 100%. Spice, and a touch of fruit.
100%.
Medium warm with a lingering oak, spice, and sweetness.
Yep,
that's Eagle Rare. Toffee nose, vanilla, orange peel, oak, hints of leather.
100% on the nose. I couldn't have described it better myself if I said it.
Hot and humid. Oh, I've heard. Even in Ohio, some of the fam, like in Seatown, is like.
Oh, we've got some friends working out in Boston right now who said the same thing. It's just been miserable.
Feels like it's like 102 with the humidity.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's cooler in Vegas. It is. Yeah. It was 95 today.
It was gorgeous.
It was perfect.
It was gorgeous.
Like
5% humidity, 95 degrees.
It is June 25th, and my pool, it's not heated, mind you, is back down to being too cold to really enjoy. Like it's probably at like 70. I heard there's some people in Phoenix and in Texas, their pools are up to like 90 already. I'm like, I didn't want to deal with it. Uncle P said it was 98 there.
Gross.
That is disgusting. And I'm sure like air conditioners, like in Vegas, every house you go into is like a freezer and has one. I'm sure out there though,
not so common.
Central air is not common, is my guess. I'm sure you probably have window units,
coolers,
swamp. Oh, and swamp coolers don't even work above like 50% humidity.
You get humidity and you're
done. It's
forget
nothing.
About it. Don't even turn it on.
Don't even turn it on. Mini splits and window ACs, probably what they're all relying on out there.
So after my third sip,
I'm
gonna give that 3. The oak and age is very identifiable.
It's got to be Eagle Rare. It's got to be oak. If it's not, we've lost all credibility. I'm gonna call it's got to be Eagle Rare.
I'm with you.
It's the one that's super oaky, and it falls in line with the 10-year age statement,
and that's why, right? The oak,
the
10 years sitting in a barrel, right? We just talked about the barrel at the beginning of the show.
Yeah,
sitting in a barrel, right? Barrel Lamaze. It's moving in, it's moving out. It's literally changing the molecular structure of the juice. It's taking elements, molecular molecules from the barrel, and it's bringing that into the juice. You're literally drinking tiny, minuscule pieces of the barrel. It's got to be
woody oak.
All right, I'm going for my last sip here. Yeah, just sweet oak.
Sweet oak.
It's like an oaky Blanton's.
I want to ask one thing from you, and I thought I had a cup of ice that I brought over here. Shit.
Yeah, I thought you did too. I thought you brought the ice. All right. Are you ready to reveal? You want to dump? So you can reveal?
I'm going to polish this off and then.
We got a dump cup. All right, so
I hope we're right.
I'm gonna rank.
How do we want to do this? All right,
I got my ranking. I'm gonna go first, second, and third, and then I know in my head I've got Eagle Rare, I've got the Barton 1792, and I've got the Four Roses, and I'm gonna do the reveal. You're gonna finish those or no?
I'll finish them, but
Okay.
I want to reveal and then taste them again just
All
to
right.
reaffirm.
I'm gonna start with number one.
Really quick chat here.
Oh,
Uncle
good.
P just bought a new furnace and air conditioner for his house last week.
Oh,
I'm sure that set you back. Yikes.
You gotta
Jimmy
go back to work?
Jam, late to the show, but welcome. Glad he could join us this fine
Hello,
evening.
Jimmy
We're talking
Jam.
about how miserable Uncle P is over there in PA, melting his buns off.
It's not the only thing he's melting.
98-degree weather in the middle of Pennsylvania. Yikes.
Ugh. Take a swim in the lake
or
the cow pond.
I don't even know if that'll help. Like, where do you cool down out there? I guess there's probably some decent lakes. Little lakes out there.
Thistlefench. You go to Thistlefench and suck off of their air conditioning.
That's how you cool down. Go down to Thistlefench for sure.
All right, I'm gonna reveal.
Right, let's do
number one. I'm revealing number one.
Hold on. That's you're going to reveal your first.
The first
one you had.
The first one I had, and what I'm ranking.
Same.
What I'm ranking as the worst one. The first is the worst.
I agree. And I thought that the first one we had was Four Roses.
That's what I thought too.
Let me try it one more time here. Yeah, that's four. That's gotta be. It's gotta be. We can't be wrong here. After all of our whiskey knowledge. This is knowledge.
For all the marbles. Knowledge. You ready? Knowledge. Experience.
Please, I'm begging you. Please be
number
right.
3.
Woo!
That is
all right.
Number 3, the Four Roses.
Okay,
100%.
Okay. We're one for three. One for one.
One for one.
So one right now.
All right.
Number
2.
We got that one.
Number 2.
Glad we got that
which
one.
Was also.
This has
got to be right.
That's got to be right.
All right. Number 2, which was also my number 2 selection out of the 3.
I agree. I really like this one. I really like this one.
It was good. And I think this is the 1792.
Let me sip it again. Let me sip it again. Hold on.
Very viscous.
That's fun. That's a solid.
Really good.
And I'm getting like this orangey, like orange peel, like kind of.
It was like orange cream, right?
Orange cream.
Kind of like
orange
cream corn.
Cream corn a little bit. It's got to be. Let's do it.
All right, reveal.
Oh, we were wrong.
You were wrong.
I was wrong.
I was correct.
Oh, I thought that this is Eagle Rare, and I thought it was the 1792.
Wow, I was correct.
You were correct.
Have the sweet wheat number 2, which means I went 3 for 3, revealing that my number 1 pick and my number 1 overall is the Eagle Rare.
Good job. Good job. Fuck.
Wow.
Well, Jimmy's palate sucks.
James.
Kevin Knapp, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey,
Northwest Florida. Cheers.
Hey.
Oh, love Florida.
Cheers, Northwest
Florida. We love Florida. We have
Kevin,
we have friends all up and down Florida. I have friends in Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Key West. We have friends all up and down Florida. So we love Florida. So welcome to the show. He says, entertaining and educational as always. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Kevin. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Don't forget to
tell us what you're drinking.
And tell your friends.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on this fine Wednesday. So I screwed the pooch.
How did you mess that
Man,
up?
I don't know.
How did you mess that up?
Especially after having Eagle Rare last week, I am baffled.
You know what it is? It's because I haven't been drinking bourbon.
Yeah.
So my palate is just a little, I think maybe just a touch more sensitive. That's what
I would agree.
I'm just a little more sensitive. Where you have you just get the fruits of being able to drink bourbon whenever you like.
Yeah. I mean, hey, all that really matters though is that we got the Four Roses right, both of us.
100%.
Because that one we both don't like.
That would be bad. So final thoughts, right? Final thoughts.
Yeah.
We said we would disagree with what the social media influencers are out there saying. If you can't find Eagle Rare, then go get the Barton 1792 Sweet Wheat. And I said at the top of the show, I would wholeheartedly disagree with that. Now, I'm going to eat my words a little bit and tell you, well, Four Roses, 100%. I would not make that comparison. The Sweet Wheat, I would make that comparison.
Yes.
I am going to eat my words on that. I think it is a good comparison. And I think you mixing the two up totally makes that comparison.
That proves it right there. Because I was very, and I'm glad that out of all the mistakes I could have made, it was between those two.
That's a good mistake to make.
It's an acceptable mistake.
So are you good with that?
I am. It actually makes me rank 1792 a lot higher than what I originally anticipated.
Interesting.
Like I knew that I liked it, but we haven't had it in a very long time.
I mean, you ranked it above the Eagle Rare in tonight's blind.
It was solid. It was really, really good.
I liked it, and I ranked it number 2, but I was really
good.
close. I liked it, but I like the Eagle Rare just a little better because I think it tastes like oaky Blanton's, and I like Blanton's. Final thoughts. If you had to add 2 more that you would compare Eagle Rare to, what would they be and why?
Oh, so I would throw in Elijah Craig small batch. I think that is a contender.
You know, I almost had you pull it out.
Yeah.
I almost did, but we do it so often on this show.
We do.
That
we beat that dead horse.
Yeah, I mean, pulling her out of the stable to run her around the track.
And all of this, there's like 12 bottles of Elijah Craig right there. So like
everyone knows our love.
Yeah, we go crazy for EC.
Okay,
and then I got some EC18 Blanton's. You got to get out the horse.
I agree. I think Blanton's is just a more polished
intro. Again, like I think all of these are acceptable for like introing people to bourbon. Again, I can't tell you how many tastings I go to where there's always like one new guy or like 2 or 3 new guys, and everybody, all the seasoned drinkers, want to throw hazmat at him, or they want to throw some barrel proof at him
because they want to see him choke. You know?
Yeah, but I'm like, guys, don't. I'm like, don't do that, because I think that you ruin that moment of like a first impression.
Yeah.
So they have something super high, crazy proof, and it just ruins it for them. And B, I think there's so many amazing entry level 80, 90 proof bourbons out there that you start that with somebody, you can get them hooked. I think you can get them.
Well, that's why
hooked.
That's why they do it. They don't want to hook anybody. They don't want anybody else in the hobby.
So Uncle P went looking for Eagle Rare and he couldn't find it. So so let me tell you what I did. So Mr. Jimmy Jam out here on the show, I'm going to call him out. So for Father's Day, I sent him. He just received it yesterday. I sent him the liquor lineup store pick of Eagle Rare.
Well, happy belated Father's Day, Jimmy Jam. And I think that was a stellar gift. So bravo to you. Bravo. And what a great gift. And I will just tell you, I was honored to be part of the discussion of, hey.
We talked about it a few weeks ago.
We did. He liked the old Granddad 114.
Little hot, though.
Little hot. What would you recommend that's maybe a step down in percentage?
Yeah.
But still brings the fire. And we talked about it.
We had a couple different choices. We didn't even think about Eagle Rare. That wasn't even on the list.
But ultimately, when he told me that you sent the Eagle Rare, when you said, "Oh, I sent the Eagle Rare," I was like, "Great choice." Slip that
and
one
the
right
store
under
pick.
The door.
The store pick.
Great pick.
That
Great pick.
liquor lineup pick is stellar. I think we've gone through like 3 bottles of that. So
it's really good.
It's fantastic. So
not easy to find. I think Eagle Rare is kind of in its moment. What? It's like $48 right now.
It's up to like 60. I know that's a big oof. Like big oof.
Used to. I mean, I'm thinking about the last time I bought Eagle Rare, which was probably 2 years ago.
Probably when it was.
And it was like 48, 45, 48.
Yeah, but it's
60. I could see
$59.99 to even $69.99, and that's kind of like
that hurts.
That's a fine line of the no-go zone.
But I get it. Yeah, I don't know.
The store picks go for like 80.
Yeah, listen, a store pick, I get it. A store pick, I get it.
Yeah.
But just for run-of-the-mill Eagle Rare, that's kind of hard to swallow. But
I know.
Would I do it? Yeah, I don't know. I'd give it a 3 on value.
If like
give it a 1.5, but
if I don't have it on the bar, I would probably pay that just to replenish the stocks. But because it does have a little bit of hype around it.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's a pretty bottle. Like guys, you can see it there. The Eagle Rare bottle,
great looking bottle.
Yeah, it's a great looking bottle.
I mean, it's basically the Thomas Handy bottle.
Yeah, and everybody recognizes it.
Right?
Any whiskey drinker that you're like, they see your shelf and they see that bottle, you're gonna get some respect for it, because that's bourbon. Like
it's basically it's a BTAC bottle.
It's a good flex,
right? It's a
good flex bottle, and it's a BTAC bottle basically
that just says Eagle Rare.
Yeah,
and now I think it's good. All right, I'm gonna give you my 2 recommendations, which I said not easy to find.
Well, why don't you get 2 glasses so we can 2 little cups here so we can try what you're grabbing?
Do you have your Eagle Rare? Because we're gonna go head to head here.
Well, I'm gonna get. Is this a dump cup?
That's a dump.
That's a dump. All right, let's get rid of that.
You have your Eagle Rare cup?
No, can I have a new one?
Oh,
I'm going to ask for 2 new because I'd like to do an Eagle Rare and what you just pulled out because I'm super hyped about this.
I also said Blanton's. I think Blanton's is an excellent choice.
And I don't have it. I have a straight from the barrel, but we're not
comparable.
You can't compare that because I think that's
straight
like
from the barrel
68%.
No offense. I think straight from the barrel's trash. And I know a lot of people in the whiskey community would look at me and go, what the hell is wrong with you?
Well,
straight from the barrel is amazing. It's such fire.
Here's what I'll say to that.
It's fire, all right.
They vary wildly from barrel to barrel. I think that there's some straight from the barrels that are awful, and there's some that are magical.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you guys remember, what Blanton's originally was picked by the master distiller from like the heart of the warehouse, the rick house. So they would pick those barrels from like a central low location in the warehouse, which if you think about it, that has the most mild and mellow barrel Lamaze fluctuations throughout its duration of aging. So it's sitting there in these barrels and there's not too much. It's not a top floor sitting there in the sun,
moving up and down,
getting all that oak, sucking in that oak all night long. And it's not at the bare bottom where it's really doing nothing. It's right in the heart of the rick house, and it's getting a good constant,
nice constant even
exactly
flow.
However, though, think of a rick house. There's barrels. There's hundreds
Give
of
us
barrels.
Some extra light. We're losing light.
I noticed that too. Turn on Sputnik. Sputnik. Done. That's it. That did it.
I'm like, we're losing light.
Let there be light. There it is. Look at that. Now we're cooking.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
So those straight from the barrels from Blanton's, because based on their location, they vary wildly. On top of that, the proof. Some of the higher proofers are not that great. Some of the middle-ish proofers are okay. They all still range though in like the 59 to 68% range.
This is the gamble you take with single barrels. It's straight from the barrels.
They're all different. So I've never had one that tasted like for like. Correct. Every time I've tasted, somebody's like, "Oh hey," because usually everyone has it as a flex at a share.
Yeah.
I've never had one that I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember this." No, they're like, "Whoa."
It's either like
good or bad.
Have
whoa.
This.
It's a good or bad. Whoa.
Have this. It's really good. Or you should try it. It's real different.
Right.
All right. Here's my final recommendation. This is the one I'm real excited about. We're gonna go final thoughts head to head.
This is what you were going to recommend.
Yes. So Blanton's, right? Not easy to get. I think Blanton's is an excellent thing because Blanton's is just Eagle Rare. I think hyped up. But here is one that I think that you should try and get as well. That I think if you like Eagle Rare. Very similar mash bill.
Yeah.
The Weller Special Reserve.
There it is. It's Weller Buffalo
$33.
$30 bottle. Well, not anymore. I mean,
you can't find it on secondary. I think what you're going to pay $60.
50, 60.
And then I think at MSRP, you could probably get 40, it for. Is it 40 now?
It's up to $39.99.
You know what? I still think that's a good deal.
It is.
So I'm going to go head to head here.
What are these? What did you pour? What's the left? What's the right?
So the left is Eagle Rare. The right is the Weller Special Reserve.
Weller.
So obviously Eagle Rare 45%. The Weller 45%. So going to be very, very similar. Weller Special Reserve, one of my all-time faves. Same distiller, same company, very similar mash bill, slight differences. But man, what a sweetie. Talk about a nice wheated bourbon. Younger juice, though. That is the big difference. That is the big difference maker. You can tell right away. The Eagle Rare brings that 10-year maturity where the Weller is just younger juice. Kind of like the Four Roses. You can taste the pointedness of the ethanol, but it is good and it is sweet.
Yeah, and just to get some details, so Special Reserve. So this is their 70% corn, 16 to 20% wheat, and 10 to 14% malted barley. So it's a high wheater. Obviously by Buffalo Trace. What do we have here? So this distillate is diluted to an entry proof of 114, right? So this is 57%. Before barreling.
Yeah, this is 45%. 90 proof.
Weller Special Reserve has no age statement, but it's generally estimated to be aged between 4 and 7 years.
Yeah, I was going to say 6 is my
Okay.
guess.
Yep. Then it's chill filtered, and then it's diluted to 90 proof, and then it's bottled. So it's part of Buffalo Trace's core wheater lineup. It has the same low rye, wheat heavy recipe as the higher end expressions such as Weller 12 year and actually Pappy Van Winkle. So you'll get some notes of Pappy in here. I think Pappy's super overrated. I know that's based.
No, it's not based.
It's a hot take. No, hot take. Hot take. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I don't think that's based at all. I think saying Pappy is the greatest of all time is based. But I think it's really good.
Ooh, that is sweet.
So sweet.
Holy whoa.
Do you taste the youngness, right?
Yeah.
Very young juice.
So, yeah. And so by that youngness, you get that like, it's got the honey and caramel, vanilla, butterscotch, etc. But it does have a little bit of like a sharp, watery bite.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Really bitey.
Like it's got a bitiness. It's like an oak bite, like a pepper bite, but it's
real pepper.
And it comes and goes. So like the flavors of this are very, very mild and mellow. Like if you're not a seasoned drinker, you're not going to get a lot of these elements out of it. I would never use this for a cocktail. I think it would be completely subdued by cocktail ingredients. What do you got?
Final thoughts. You need to get through that quickly. We're a little long in the tooth on this show.
I know.
Go back to your Eagle Rare.
Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you, I'm curious. I want one nose, one flavor profile that sticks out to you immediately.
Oh, he's sipping now. The 10-year Eagle Rare, 10-year best yet.
Oh,
good. He's sipping on it now.
Very good. Go. I mean, it jumped at me that I hadn't noticed throughout the entire tasting tonight. But I got cola. Tons of just cola.
I see it. I see what you mean.
Sweet.
That's to me though.
Cola.
That's like a sweet oak.
Right.
It's sweet oak where you're getting kind of that. I think you're comparing it to like the Star Anise. It's like a bit of a clove, sweet clove, where you think of like that Coca-Cola base spice flavor, not as sweet and sugary as Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
You
as
get
sweet
that
compared
spice
to this.
element, right?
Would I compare the two? Listen, if you can't find Eagle Rare and you had the option to buy a Weller Special Reserve, should you do it? Yes,
absolutely. It's a great drinker. The Eagle Rare is a great drinker.
Final thoughts? Eagle Rare, a go-getter?
They're all go-getters with
one
the exception of the Four Roses. That is Bad Times, not that great.
Or is it Good Times?
No, Good Times.
You know.
Times, but we won't go there. Apparently, I have some groups of friends. I have that whole group of friends that are insistent that we come over and have a Good Times tasting with them. And they claim that our opinion will be swayed.
I'm open.
I'm open to it.
I'm open to it.
And they have a lineup. Like I've seen pictures from the previous Good Time events.
I'm actually really sad I missed the last one. So please don't take my crapping on Good Times as like a reason to not invite me over.
Right.
Invite me over.
They have like
changed my mind.
Different.
There are a lot of fun flavors.
There is a lot of fun. Neapolitan.
I'm about it.
Out.
Mint chocolate chip.
Cigar cut.
Cheerios,
peach.
Cigar cut.
There's so much out
Invite
there.
me over. I really do want to try it all.
We will definitely take up our friend's offer on that next Good Times share for sure.
No news tonight. Maybe news this weekend. Stay tuned. Always follow the Barrel Buddies on Instagram at the Barrel Buds. Lots of stuff coming out of Japan in the next couple of weeks.
And then here's the thing. So we may lie low for a couple of shows because I want to save in 2 or 3 shows from now. We have show 200.
I know. Thank you for being a mensch for that.
Show 200.
That.
Yeah, no, I'd like to get some special guests for that. We may obviously bring in Rope and Zach. Spoiler alert. We have to. We have to. He's part of the OG crew, the original crew. Yeah. So we'll more to follow once we figure it out. And I did say that I wanted to do that live from somewhere.
I think I'm picking up what you're laying.
Yeah, we may be on location. I don't know where yet. I have a few spots in mind. I don't want to reveal anything now because I need to talk to some people. But I think that there's plethora of places that will welcome us.
Would you say I have a plethora of pinatas?
A plethora of pinatas. So, well, there you have it. No news is good news. We had our fair share. I shit the bed. You did a perfect score. I'll take the 80% and you did the 100%.
When there's all there is. All right. I think we've gone long enough. Thanks for sticking around with us tonight. Appreciate you.
Cheers, barrel buddies. Thanks for joining us tonight. Stay safe out there. That's all we got. So for the barrel buddies, I'm Jimmy.
And I'm BJ. We'll see you next week.